Mohammed Badaru has led service chiefs and the Inspector General of Police to commiserate with the family of the deceased Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Taoreed Abiodun Lagbaja, at the Flag Staff House, Abuja, the official residence of the Chief of Army Staff. While funeral arrangements are yet to be announced, flags are flying at half-mast in all military, paramilitary, and police formations. Sifoni Sian reports.
The Minister of Defense leads service chiefs and the Inspector General of Police to the Flag Staff House, Abuja, the official residence of the Chief of Army Staff. They commiserate with the family of the deceased Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Taoreed Abiodun Lagbaja, whose death was announced on Wednesday. It's a big loss for the Nigerian Army, the Nigerian military, and indeed the country. But the military authorities say that despite the loss, they would not be deterred in carrying out their role. At the Defense Headquarters, the Director of Defense Media Operations affirms the commitment of the military to perform its role despite the passing of the Chief of Army Staff.
I know clearly that citizens understand that we are fighting a war against terrorists and insurgents. In this war, we must also understand that in spite of our loss, and a great loss in these circumstances, we have no option but to continue fighting these terrorists.
He also provides updates on military operations across the country and the discovery of a new terror group operating in Kebbi and Sokoto states.
It is indeed the first attempt of the Sahelian jihadists to have a foothold in our country. They were kept at bay all this while when we had joint cross-border operations with the Republic of Niger. However, when the coup took place in Niger, they took advantage of the breakdown in cooperation between both countries, which has now been restored. We know exactly where they are.
Reports indicate that Lakurawa terror group affiliated to Islamic State in the Sahel has been forcibly collecting cows from locals in return for protection against bandits. Sifon Essien, TVC News, Abuja.
Meanwhile, the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, has ordered officers and men of the Nigeria Police Force to wear black band throughout the 7-day mourning period. The IGP, in a statement by the Force PRO, Muyiwa Dejobi, says the directive is to pay tribute and honor the late general who has shown gallantry, dedication and passion for fighting violent crimes and insurgency in Nigeria. As part of efforts to enhance the Nigeria Police Force's effectiveness in crime prevention, the Nigeria Police Trust Fund has initiated a training on intelligence-led policing and surveillance. The program is part of federal government's drive to reposition the police for effective crime prevention and fighting. Sifoni Sian reports.
The Nigeria Police Force is the lead agency for internal security tasks with maintaining law and order, protecting lives and property, and preventing crime. To realize these mandates, the Nigeria Police Trust Fund is supporting the training of police operatives on advanced surveillance, data analysis, and intelligence gathering.
The government is making a lot of investment in equipment and tools for work. It is very important you train police on how they can use more efficiently those tools and equipment in order to serve the Nigerian people.
The training emphasizes the crucial role of real-time data and intelligence in identifying and mitigating criminal threats before they escalate. It supports the Tinubu administration's vision for a modern, intelligence-driven police force capable of handling complex security issues.
What is facing the country at this particular moment has to do with this. And what parts are the police going to play? How are they going to collaborate with all other sister agencies? All over the world, it has been decided, researchers have shown that you cannot have peace, the police will not achieve nothing without intelligence.
What the NPF is trying to achieve with NPTF, Nigeria Police Trust Fund, is trying to achieve with this training is to equip the Nigerian police with global standards. Global standard, what is obtainable in the globe, is what they're trying to achieve also with the Nigeria Police Force. And that's why this particular topic, intelligence-led policing surveillance course, is a way to deter crime from happening. So it means it is proactive, not reactive.
Since taking office, the administration has prioritized equipping the police with the skills and tools needed to secure the country. Sifon Essien, TVC News, Abuja.
The Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development has unveiled plans for Nigeria's first ever international air show, scheduled to take place in Lagos, the country's commercial hub. He announced that the event, organized in collaboration with the private sector, will attract global investors and boost local tourism. Olobaoyemachi reports.
Nigeria will join the list of major global cities like London, New York, Dubai and Toronto, hosting its inaugural aviation air show.
Increase the skill set in
what he calls a landmark achievement, Minister Festus Keyamo expressed confidence in Nigeria's potential to reshape Africa's aviation landscape. He says Nigeria's aviation sector is already on the path to becoming globally competitive.
It is intended to project Nigeria as the place where the next big things will happen in aviation in Africa. The significant rise in the compliance index, Nigeria's compliance index globally in terms of compliance with the Cape Town Convention, and that has opened up so many windows of opportunities for our local operators in Nigeria.
The minister outlined key objectives for the air show, including strengthening the African Continental Free Trade Area and unlocking new potentials through the single African air transport market. Questions about the infrastructure readiness of the proposed venue were addressed, with assurances given.
We have done a lot of background work in the last 1 year before this announcement. You know, for instance, we have done drafts of agreements back and forth, sent the draft to the Ministry of Justice. We looked at different models of the collaboration. After that, we have also gone to physically look at infrastructure at the Lagos airports. We have looked at the aprons, how big the aprons are, and how many airplanes they can take.
A lot of the policies that are driven within the sector, he's worked on it tirelessly. He talked about the IDERA, he talked about the Cape Town Convention. Never in years have we had it better in the industry with somebody like the Honorable Minister.
The 3-day event, scheduled for the first quarter of next year, will feature more than 150 aviation companies from around the world. As said by the minister, Nigeria's first ever international air show promises not just to be a spectacle in Lagos State, but a turning point, one that could redefine the nation's place in global aviation. Uloma Oyemachi, TVC News, Abuja.
The Transmission Company of Nigeria says the national grid experienced a disturbance at 11:29 this morning, caused by a sudden rise in frequency from 50.33 Hz to 51.44 Hz. The TCN says recovery efforts began immediately and the Abuja axis was restored within 28 minutes, and recovery is still ongoing in other parts. According to them, the frequency spike was caused by issues encountered at one of TCN substations, which had to be shut down to prevent further complications. They are actively engaged in significant repair work on several critical transmission lines and substations. This includes the 330 kV transmission lines along the Shiroro-Mando axis, major upgrades at the Jeba transmission substation, and the restoration of the second Ugwaji-Apia 330 kV transmission line.